Right across Australia, this is Sunrise on 7. From Brecky Central, Koshi and Mel.
Well, pressure is mounting on Julia Gillard to approve gay marriage after another state-backed same-sex unions. Queensland's Parliament passed a bill to acknowledge the relationship rights of gay and lesbian couples. The state's Premier Anna Bligh allowed her Labor MPs a conscience vote on the issue.
Those on the other side of the chamber will be voting as drones, pre-programmed to come in here and vote one way by an...
Order. Just resume your seat.
This bill is nothing more than a stunt, designed as a distraction to the critical issues facing Queenslanders. This is evidenced by the speed at which the nature in this bill and the way it was introduced.
Well, the bill eventually passed by 47 votes to 40, with 4 government members choosing to cross the floor. Let's find out what this means for the issue of gay marriage nationally. Sunrise correspondent Michelle Tapper is in Brisbane. Michelle, good morning to you. Now, just to explain, though, this particular vote wasn't about gay marriage, was it?
No, it wasn't. But a civil union will legally recognise gay couples and basically give them the same rights that heterosexual married couples have. Now, a civil union is as far as the state government can go. The Marriage Act is a federal law, so that has to be approved on a national level. But basically, as of today, gay couples in Queensland will be able to go down to the Births, Deaths and Marriages Office and register their civil unions and then be entitled to more legal rights.
Now, this weekend, the topic of gay marriage will be discussed at the ALP National Conference in Sydney. Do you think this result's going to have any bearing on that?
Well, it is possible that it's an indication of things to come, but I think it's a lot easier to pass a civil union through on a state level than it is to get the Gay Marriage Act passed through on a federal level, especially because we know it's a very controversial debate. Prime Minister Julia Gillard has publicly said that she doesn't support it. But having said that, there are a number of states around the country that do recognise gay civil unions, and there has been just huge public support of gay marriage. Just last week, Get Up released an advertising campaign supporting gay marriage on the internet, and within a couple of days there were almost 2 million hits, and it basically shows a young man falling in love, and it follows his relationship through the different stages of life, and it's filmed through the eyes of his partner, which then in turn ends up being a man. So it is a very interesting, very controversial debate, and we'll just have to see how it unfolds on a national level, Mel.
Yeah. Thanks for the update, Michelle. See you soon. Here's Koshi.
Same-sex couples in Queensland have won the right to enter into legally recognised civil unions. Last night, a bill passed through the state's parliament by 7 votes after the government allowed its MPs a conscience vote on the issue.
This bill merely, but not meekly, seeks to formally recognise relationships which have existed in Queensland for centuries.
Only a handful of Labor politicians joined the Liberal National Party in opposing the bill. The legislation now aligns with reforms already made in Tasmania, the ACT, New South Wales and Victoria.
Yet another state has moved a step closer to equal rights for gay and lesbian couples. Queensland's Parliament last night backed a bill to allow same-sex unions. That they can't do marriages under state legislation, they can only do unions. But the legislation now aligns Queensland with laws already approved in Tasmania, Victoria, the ACT and New South Wales. So let's hand this one over to the Angels. Today I'm joined by editor of Marie Claire magazine, Jackie Frank, Australia's Next Top Model judge, Charlotte Dawson, and Better Homes and Gardens editor Julia Zayeta. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Jackie, what do you reckon? Applaud the move last night?
Yeah! No, look, I think it's fantastic. Anything that where religion and law get mixed up, I think is terrible. Religion should be taken out of the equation, and that's what this is about. These are people's personal religious views, and everyone has the right, the same right, to live the way in which they want to live. So I say, yay, get with the states, let's get this legal, let's get gay marriage right across the board.
Because, Charlotte, as I said, states can only do union.
Look, we do love each other.
The federal government can only do marriages, and it's the Labor Party conference this weekend. What's your message to Julia Gillard?
I can't say it on breakfast television, but I would like to jump across and give you a great big gay pash on the lips for allowing me to unleash the beast. Let me rip off my rings this morning. I can't stand Julia Gillard for her stance on this. I was so enraged during the ARIA Awards the other night when she was standing on the stage with one of our greatest performers, Kylie Minogue, who is a huge gay icon. How dare she share a stage with her when she is against the gay people having the absolute rights that we have. Julia Gillard as a woman can vote. Look, Julia Gillard as a woman is the first female Prime Minister of Australia, even though she did it in the most dodgiest possible way. I want her to give the rights to people to be able to marry. OK, marriage didn't work for everyone, doesn't work for a lot of people, but they have to have the right to be able to do it. I will be marching with all my gays at 12 o'clock in Hyde Park in Sydney. We really need to make this happen. Yep. I'm really passionate about it.
Could be a good turning point, a big turning point this weekend, Julia, but a lot of politicians say, oh, this is just a distraction from bigger issues. Is it?
I don't matter if it's a distraction from bigger issues. I think the really important thing, it's a big issue for gay people, and however it gets put on the table is a wonderful thing, and it just should go ahead and it shouldn't be an issue. What I'd like to see is legislation against abusive husbands or abusive men who are going to marry women and abusive women who are going to marry men, because there's no legislation about that. There's legislation about people who love each other. Doesn't matter what they do. It's just, it's the wrong thing not to just pass it.